Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Who is Going to Transition Next. This is episode 3, and wow, we have a bunch of new contestants for the 5 tier lists. Now, let me just say that after having that recap episode, I really just want to point out that, I'm happy that this tier list is just a bit more evolved compared to last season. But, anyways, let's start. So, let me just give you a rundown of all the tiers if you have not paid attention to the first episode. So, within 5 years mean that you will transition within 5 years, within three, within two. Then we have non binary trans. This means that the person would either come out as non binary and slowly transition into female but still identify as non binary, or maybe they will call themselves non binary trans as they transition. So yeah, that's an interesting tier. Then we have within 1 year. So let's begin. First, we have IDK Sterling. In the last season, I put him on never, as in he will never transition. But the more I think about it, the more I feel like he is gonna transition. But when exactly? I have a feeling it's within 3 years. Within 3 years. Okay, let me put him right in the back. Can I even move this? Oh my gosh, why is it so hard to move? So I am using a different app for those who don't know compared to the previous app. And this app, I can actually create many tier lists, which is pretty cool. Whereas the previous one, I had to buy a full version or something like that, or watch an ad, or I can't really remember, but I was only allowed to use one. Okay, so yeah, 3 years. I like IDK Sterling. I'm sure some of you guys may have seen my comments on some of his videos. But yeah, now I have a strong feeling he might drink the estrogen water within 3 years. Next we have is Carlos Maza. Some of you guys may remember him from back in the day. I think he still works for Vox, or maybe it doesn't work with them anymore. Regardless, back in 2019, he was he was someone who was causing controversy, and he was really upset with the fact that Steven Crowder called him a, I think it was gay twink or something like that, but Carlos Maza was a self-described gay twink on his Twitter profile. So he was offended when someone called him what he self-identified as, and that just created an entire controversy with Crowder. I think he was demonetized, which is just so horrible. And what really is obnoxious is that um, it's sad that it's really sad that this dude, you know, got away with causing a controversy. And will he transition? Absolutely. But I feel like it's going to be, you know what? It's going to be within a year. No, 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 no. My bad. Within 2 years. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I have to move everything. See, one flaw with this is that it's that you have to keep scrolling, whereas the other app you could see you could see that there were multiple rows of a tier, but this is just a bit of obnoxious, don't you think? Okay. Next we have is Sean. I've seen a couple of his videos at times, and bread tuber and all that. Yeah, he's gonna transition, but part of me says within 2 years. I want to be safe. I'm gonna put him within 2 years. Then we have the amazing Lucas. Last time I put him on never, but since we don't have that option, and I feel like, he's someone who can transition. Yesterday, I just clicked on his video about Snoop Dogg, and a lot of people in the comments, I would say a lot of his new subscribers, because obviously he garnered a bunch of people after he kind of shifted views, and his entire for the most part his entire channel really changed on what topics he was talking about, and he garnered people who obviously are going to call him out on his homophobia. Now I remember back in the day, Amazing Lucas was obviously calling out this type of stuff, and there were a couple of times when he did get brigaded by a bunch of these SJWs, but for the most part, a lot of people who subscribed to him back then understood his views on certain things. But now that he's shifted, and since he still owes some of these views from the past, a lot of people call him out on the comments. So yeah, I feel like he's gonna transition. You think it'll never happen? I say he will, and I would say within 3 years. We're just gonna be explicit with it. 3 years, okay. 3 years is gonna come out as the amazing Lucia or something like that. Okay, next we have is Kyle Kolinsky. I'm sure you guys have noticed a pattern with some of my picks. Okay. Okay, so Kyle Kolinsky, I feel like not even 1 year. He hasn't transitioned in the past few years, but I have a hunch he's gonna come out within the next 2 years. Okay, just give it 2 years. Okay. David Pakman. Last time I said he won't transition, but I feel like he would. But if he does transition, I'm gonna put him in. I would say, I'm just gonna be safe and put him on 5 years. Okay. Then we have FD Signifier. Definitely gonna transition. But I feel like he could come out as non-binary trans, but then he could also just not. You know what? I'm just gonna put him as this is difficult. Okay, I thought this would be easier, but no, this is even difficult. Well, technically I would say that it's slightly better than the last tier, but I'm gonna say within 5. Let's just play it safe. Ludwig or Ludwig. I feel like this streamer is the type of streamer that some people really really flock to for some reason. And I don't know, like there's certain communities online that you don't really vibe with. You can sense the vibrations, and I feel like this guy just is not. It's not. It's just not. I would say sending off good vibrations. So I'm gonna put him. He is gonna transition, guys. Come on. I'm gonna say within 2 years. Within 2 years, he's gonna come out as trans. Then we have Dreamy Ball. Now I love Dreamy Ball memes, Yes King memes. I just love those memes. It's so funny. It's really funny. And I've seen such creativity over the past few years with these memes. And honestly, when I discovered these memes back 2 years ago, I never expected them to be so hilarious. Like, wow. So Dreamable will transition, but it's gonna be within I would say 2 years. You know. Next we have is Tyler Brian Cohen. Uh, there was recently a controversy he was in um, when the news broke out that he was getting some funding or raising something. I just totally forgot because it feels like it's not an important news because obviously a lot of these political organizations are going to be raising funds and funding their own side and stuff like that. It's pretty much normal, but it was a big news because what's her name? Taylor Lorenz broke the news. So yeah, that's interesting, but still, you know what? I'm gonna put him on 5 years just to be safe. Next we have is ProZD. Now I'm sure you guys, if you guys are on Twitter, you guys must have known that today. Well, okay, no, this video might come out tomorrow. So today is Tuesday, by the way. But anyways, this guy basically left Twitter because he kept getting responses of people who were quoting him And I don't have the official quote with me, but the dude was pretty much fine with voice actors playing their only role. Sorry, playing the role of the race they are in. So only whites can voice whites and blacks can voice black and stuff like that. That's what he wanted, really. And this was back in like 2020. You remember that time when a bunch of actors and actresses were not allowed to voice characters anymore because of race? Really? I mean, it's so ridiculous, but this happened and it affected so many TV shows, really. And it's a bit disappointing that this all happened. And yet, I think it was last year, this guy, ProZD, came out and he said that he now struggles to find voices to play because the companies won't allow him to voice non-white characters. And it's like, wait a minute, you're the one who championed this in the first place. You're the one who championed people to stay their lane. You can't be disappointed by what you got unless you change your mind, but it doesn't seem like he is changing his mind. He is gonna transition, guys. He's gonna transition. Sorry, I have to be blunt. He's gonna transition within, hmm, I'm gonna say 2 years. Then we have Destiny. You know what? He's gonna transition. Maybe within 3 years. Okay, so, um, wow. This is a big list, guys. Really big list. Just wow. Within 2 years, so many people are transitioning. Okay, so I could either be fully wrong or fully right. I hope I am. Uh, well, technically, I don't really hope people to transition for 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 like like silly reasons and stuff. But I have a feeling some of these guys will come out as trans eventually. So what's next for this tier list? I have to obviously find more contestants and hopefully it's a bit more diverse. I will branch out to more like I would say like just more YouTubers and just assume when they'll transition, but I'm not going to get anyone who I know for a fact will never transition. Anyways, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.